This is the HP Stream 11. It's got 2 gigabytes of RAM. It's got 29 gigabytes of eMMC with Windows 10 installed on it. But I'm going to boot from this USB drive and have a look at Linux Mint. We want to go to F9, choose the USB drive, and we have Linux Mint 22.1 XFCE 64-bit. So let's see what that's like booting into that. And I'll zoom in so we can have a closer look at this. We'll just go for the default. And I'll record this in real time so you can see how quick this system boots up. It's got an Intel Celeron N3060. That's a slow processor. Let me zoom in for you. Just change the camera, and in the background the power adapter is plugged into this. This is showing us how much power this system is using. It's quite low power, and let's see if I can get this to show up properly. So we're still waiting for it to boot, and we're getting closer. Let's see if I can get the angle on this a little bit better. Okay, there we go. I've got a mouse connected because I don't really want to use the trackpad, and we're still waiting for it to boot. If you have a look on CPU benchmark, you can sort of see how slow this processor is compared to, anything else really. Almost everything's going to be quicker than this except for the A4 1200, which I've featured in other videos on this channel. So we're booted into the desktop. Still looks like it's sort of starting up a bit. Let me change these settings so that you can see this a little better, and we'll have a look around. I'll try and increase the font size, and I'll connect to Wi-Fi and be back in a second. We're connected to the Wi-Fi. I've increased the font size. We've got a terminal. Let's have a look if we've got top. Yep. Have we got Neo Fetch? Probably not. Oh, we do. Okay, so 2 gigabytes of RAM. Celeron N3060. Dual core. 2.4 gigahertz. And what else do we want to have a look at? Well, let's have a look at what else we've got on Linux Mint. We'll go on the internet, shall we? Firefox. See what that's like. And maybe bring up a task manager so that we can see what's going on with the processor and the memory usage. So it's using about 980 megabytes. It's gone up to a gigabyte because we're starting Firefox. It's quite relatively responsive. And let's go for the BBC. It's reasonably responsive here as well. Let's go to YouTube because that's the one that seems to slow a lot of systems down. The memory usage is creeping up here. You should be able to see that where it's at 1.5 gigabytes. And let's reject this. I want to try the first video about this, HP Stream 11 see what we get and see what the playback is like. Here we go. And I think the sound should be working, but I'll mute this as quickly as possible, because the sound on this laptop isn't great. Let's make this wider. Okay, we'll skip the ad. And let's see if we can scroll to a specific point. Okay, let's get the stats up. So it's using VP09, which is, that's the newer encoding, I think. So let's just make this full screen. It's taking its time to make it actually full screen. We're getting there. We're almost there. And there we are. We have hands within hands, windows within windows. It's at 360 resolution, or is it at 720? I'll check that just to double check. So yeah, it's at 360 here. We could go up to 480 and see what happens there. And we're getting a fair amount of, well, we're getting some dropped frames. Yeah, it's taking a while to update this. And I think if we switch to H.264, we'd probably get better playback. But let's just see kind of how many tabs we can have open in Firefox. Once we can actually exit out of this. It's taking its time to sort of go back to the normal YouTube view. Still waiting for this to close, this to respond. This page is slowing down Firefox to speed up your browser. Stop this page. So yeah, it's really struggling with this whole idea of giving me back this browser window. I'm sure this version of Linux is great, you know, but a slow laptop is a slow laptop, and this laptop only has 2 GB of RAM and a really slow processor. Stop. And this is real time. This is how responsive it is. You can see what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to run YouTube on this. Maybe I should just close Firefox. Been some interesting comments on previous videos about this laptop. Got some interesting comments. This is a 2 GB version. Later they did a 4 GB RAM version with 64 GB storage. In fact, they still sell laptops like this with 4 GB of RAM and 64 GB of eMMC. And for a little bit more money, you can get an SSD laptop. And yeah, it's a shame that they still sell eMMC systems. It's a shame that this web browser won't close. Yeah. Do you want to terminate? Yes, I do. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, this is probably the wrong version of Linux for this laptop. Maybe I should have gone for anti-X. Okay. Let's try that again. Went back down to 1 GB of RAM in use. And still got this. So yeah, this is a really slow processor. Oh no, it's opening the same tab. I don't want the same tab again. I want a different web page that's not going to be so awkward. Ooh, web apps. Run websites as if they were apps. Should we have a quick look at what's on here? Accessories, calculator, file search, disks, document viewer, image viewer. Graphics, document scanner, internet, multimedia, office. So we've got LibreOffice Writer. This is running off a USB drive plugged into a USB 3 port. I don't want tips. And let's make that bigger. Settings. Lots of stuff there. System. And let's try the internet one more time. Okay. Right, we've got a completely fresh session, and we're ignoring the previous session that we had. My kind of plan here is to just open different Wikipedia tabs so that it's easy enough for the web browser to cope with without having to load too much. So this is the main page. I'll just click a bunch of random things. Wikibooks, I didn't know that existed. Wikinews, Wikisource, free content library, free learning tools. There's quite a lot here, isn't there, that I haven't seen before. Directory of species. So what we've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs. Let's add a few more. Yeah, this is cool. And let me see if I can scroll smoothly. Oh yeah, that's fine. That's just a picture. Okay. Various animals, that's a good caption for that. So yeah, we've got Linux Mint running. I've got up to about 6 tabs. Let's try a few more. What have we found? Okay, so yeah, this is Linux Mint. Looks like it's working okay. The lack of memory is a kind of real issue for web browsing, YouTube, etc. The slow processor is an issue, but the operating system looks quite nice. Has lots of stuff, and let's have a look for if we've got a sort of app store. Search here maybe. Web apps, default apps, software manager, okay. I think with this laptop only having 2 GB of RAM and this operating system using about 1 GB of RAM, they'll benefit from using a lighter operating system that left us a bit more space for web browsing. But yeah, it looks nice. It does the job. Easy enough to use. Different settings. Workspaces. And I'm sure it would be much quicker on a system that was quicker. Basically, this is a very slow system, so it's no real surprise that it's slow to use. Wonder if we can get a matching colour. This sort of matches the colour of the laptop. Maybe it's a bit bright, but that's fine. And we've got Bluetooth down here. Notifications. Wi-Fi, battery. The battery in this is dead. Speaker. Not so keen on that wallpaper. Okay, that's fine. I'll just leave it like that. We're getting the cache for this, so this takes a while. For the first time it's running, I think it's quicker the next time you run it. Okay, I'm not really sure what happened, but the laptop has crashed. So Yeah. Does Control-Alt-Delete work the same on Linux as in Windows? Should it be bringing up me some kind of task manager? That's unfortunate. I'm going to have to restart this and reboot into Linux again. But yeah, let's do that and then come back. We are back in Linux Mint. We were just having a look around, really, weren't we? We were looking at Task Manager. Oh, we were looking at the Software Manager to see what apps were there and to, yeah, just have a quick look around. I think it's going to have to build the cache again, but that's a shame. What do we have down here? We've got minimize all open windows, show the desktop, Firefox, terminal, and file manager. Let's have a look at this. So we've got the computer, file system, and this is the local Windows install. We've got a Ventoy USB boot disk, file system, desktop, recent, trash, documents, music, pictures, videos, downloads, file system again, and browse network. But this looks reasonable. Looks quite nice and easy to use. And yeah, looks good enough. Looks quite kind of Windowsy. Can we run a terminal? And can we get Quake to work? Now this may not work because it might want an actual install of Linux rather than a live session, but I'm going to try and give it a try anyway. So I need to install that first. So the software manager started and it's got a lot of kind of useful things right at the top, such as OBS, Discord, Audacity, VLC, FreeTube, Blender, Telegram, Inkscape, FileZilla, etc. Why don't we try this and see if this is useful. And we're also doing this. So hopefully it'll let us do two things at the same time. Okay. So I think we've managed to fill up our storage temporarily, or yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, that needs quite a lot of space, this bit. So let's skip that. Let's see if this will work for us. Just keeping my cat entertained at the moment while it does this. Okay, so I actually managed to get Quake 3 working. So let's why don't we run, oh, it doesn't have the demo, does it? So I would normally run the demo benchmark to see what it's like, but I don't have that. So I'll see if I can switch on the frame rate. Okay, this is running well enough. Frame rate's fine, but you know, this is quite an old game. This was yeah, from a long time ago. So this runs on most things, to be honest, which is quite good really. It means you can just play it on anything, and this is super responsive, super quick and fun action game. And it doesn't really matter that, you know, the internet's slow or your PC is slow doing various things, because with the right program, right software, right game, you can just carry on doing fun things. Or, you know, you could be typing in word processor. Yeah. And this isn't even using the full processor power. And I died. So, yeah. I guess it depends what you want to do, doesn't it, really, with systems and computers, etc. You know, this operating system runs really well, really nicely on this PC, even though it is slow. It's got a slow processor. It's only got 2 GB of RAM. But as long as I'm not, you know, going on YouTube and trying to play high resolution video files, this works really nicely. And yeah, this is a slow laptop, but look how responsive this operating system is. And yeah, if you have a quicker laptop than this with 4 GB of RAM, faster processor, then this is kind of impressive that this is the latest, you know, Linux Mint 22.1 XFCE, and it's running really nicely. So if you've got this far in the video, thanks for watching, and see you in another video. Leave a comment below, let me know what the slowest PC is that you have run Linux on. Do you still use it now? Always interesting to hear your comments. And yeah, if you've got some tips and tricks or useful information about things I should know about Linux, leave a comment below. Thanks, bye.